Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Scranton Talks. My name is Desiree, and I am the co-founder of the Independent Film Creative Hub and the founder of the local film community, NEPA Film Society, as well as the organizer of the Mystery Box Film Challenge.
And again, thank you everyone for joining us as well. My name is Luz Cabrales. For those of you who know me, you know who I am. But if you don't, I am also the co-founder of the Independent Film Creative Hub in Scranton Films. And we are very excited to be back after, what was it, like 2 months that I had to take a break?
Yeah, we took a break in June and July because we had a lot going on and a lot going on in May. So
Yes, we did like 4 shows in
we had
May.
4 shows in May.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to be back and sort of start kicking up. I guess it's hard to say, but it's we're getting to be like it's gonna be fall soon, right? Like everybody's gonna go back to school.
Well,
So
the Halloween candy's out already. I saw it in Price
I
Chopper
saw
on
it.
the
I went to the
first.
store and everything
It's
was
out
like
already.
out. Yeah, I didn't like that, but it's all right. It's good because the fall is great for filmmaking, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
still pretty
it's a
good weather
beautiful
up until
time.
November.
Yes, yes, and again, I'm very excited that we're bringing back all of these Scranton Talks, all the mystery bags, everything that we have through our social media. And right behind me, you'll see the Independent Film Creative Hub.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to ourcreativehub.com and sign up. It's free and easy to use. It's sort of like our Facebook, but a little bit more moderated, where you can post casting notices. If you have a project, if you're not sure how to do something and you need a little bit of help, those we're going to be there for you. You can always send us a message as well if you're not sure how to do it, and we can walk you through it. I think I've been talking to Desiree about doing like a little tutorial for quite a bit, but I never
Oh, yeah,
get to it.
that'll be a good idea down the road.
Mhm. And we have a lot of great announcements. I'll let Desiree go through them because there's quite a bit, right?
Oh, yeah, we have some really great stuff happening with our local filmmakers here in the Northeast Pennsylvania region, especially this month. So we're going to mention a few here. The indie filmmakers Rory Colarossi and Matthew Wise of Ravenview Productions, they'll be having their first public screening of their film, The Burden of Beauty, at 3 Jack's Burger Bar in Dunmore on Wednesday,
Mhm.
August 17th. And we've been sharing that where you can get the tickets. They're $10. And we certainly can't forget why Luce has been busy for most of the couple of months. That on August 18th at the Circle Drive-In at 7 o'clock, there will be premiering the documentary of Scranton's
Mhm.
championship season to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Scranton native Jason Miller's that championship season 1982 film. It was a great creative collaboration between Luce at Scranton Films and Robert Savakinus. Be sure to check that out. I may have butchered that name.
Savakinus. It's all
Savakinus,
right.
I'm sorry.
I always do that on the show, so you have to do it once in a while, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I butchered that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to elaborate, Luce. That's what you've been working on the last couple of months, really briefly.
Yes, yes. It's very hard for us independent filmmakers to juggle all the projects that come. Because sometimes there's none, and sometimes there's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So this summer was very busy for me, and just to be able to collaborate with Bob on a project that signifies quite a bit for the community, and not just the community, also for independent filmmaking. Just the way that Hollywood came to Scranton
Yeah.
via Jason Miller, and being a native of Scranton, and making a film that was, something that really touched a lot of people. That's what the story is about. Bob and I are gonna hopefully try to do another Scranton Talks before next week. We are a little bit busy, but if we can make it, if not, I mean, just come out and support local filmmaking. August 18th is going to be, very nice. It's also my birthday. That's right. Remember?
Oh, yes.
So
Luce's birthday on the 18th. So be
yes, so we're gonna do quite a
on the
bit
drive.
red carpet pictures. Come and just hang out. Starts at 7. That's when doors will open, and then as soon as it gets dark, we'll start the documentary, and then after that, you'll get to see the film that we made the documentary on. So if you're not so much interested in the film, come for me because it's my birthday. So I mean, hello,
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be a great weekend, and also, even though we are in August, September is right around the corner, and on September 1st at 7 o'clock, we're gonna be launching the 2023 Mystery Box Film Challenge, where we'll announce the items and prompts you'll have to use this year for the challenge. So be sure to follow the Mystery Box Film Challenge on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date, and just come out and support our indie filmmakers here in Northeast PA. If you have anything going on with filmmaking events in the future, feel free to message us, and we'll be gladly to share everything as much as we can.
Yes, please do. And talking about independent filmmaking, I mean, we have two guests here that are going to talk about what is independent filmmaking, and a great film that is coming to the Circle Driving this Saturday, August 13th and 14th. I believe they just added a new date. That's how popular
they're adding
it is,
Sunday
guys.
too.
Yes, so you got to make sure that you get those tickets. But let me just introduce you to these filmmakers after I show the trailer out of the film. The Beast Comes at Midnight is going to be a film, again, playing at the drive-in on August 13th. And we have Ed and Michael here that will talk about, the making of the film and just what independent filmmaking is all about. So let me just cue that trailer here, and then we'll bring them in, okay?
Beast! I'm the last of the Andros bloodline! Come and claim your prize! Not today, Beast.
That kid's a weirdo.
Look out! What are you doing on the road, Death Note? You trying to get hit? Part of some weird ritual, huh, Dr. Strange?
So, you're the Crimson Kid. I'm Mary.
Yeah, I know.
Here. I didn't realize there was so much history in Giptown.
Have you ever crossed the tracks into Giptown?
No, but I've heard there's a bunch of cool stuff over there.
This is very real, Tough.
The Wolf Boy? I need some information.
Chasing the stars?
A werewolf.
That's what your new story is on?
The attacks are moving from outside of Fishhawk and into Giptown.
He's becoming stronger.
People are here being eaten alive, Mary.
You're on the tooth fairy short of me a quarter.
The beast is tracking something. I thought it was me.
I can sense the beast is coming. There is death in the air this time.
I came out here to save Tough.
It's not Tough the beast is chasing, Mary.
Will you just tell me that was your stomach, Mutt?
Not even on my best day. I know you guys think I'm strange, and maybe I am, but maybe it takes someone strange to fight something strange.
I'm with you.
Hey, dog breath! Let's finish this.
Do you think dogs think that we're pets? I don't know. Great question.
Yeah, so let's welcome executive producer Ed McKeever and actor Michael McKeever.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hello. Desiree,
Thank you.
Luz, thank you so much for having us on. And Luz, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. We're very excited that you were able to come to the show in such a close date on Saturday. We're very excited. This is good. This should bring up the hype, and people should come to this event. But what we're gonna do first is very laid back conversation. Let's just, before we get into The Beast Comes at Midnight, just the film itself, let's just talk a little bit about you, both of you as producers, actor, filmmakers, and just how you got started. A lot of this show is, like I was telling you before, behind the scenes, is for filmmakers, right? for people who want to get into the film industry, for people that are maybe already in the film industry and want to connect with other professionals. So I'll do the first question, and then we'll kind of go back and forth based on your answer. But there, we'll put you on the spot for a little bit, if that's okay.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, perfect. So Ed, we'll start with you. Just how did you get into the filmmaking industry? And also, I heard you have a little bit of ties to Pennsylvania as well, even though you're in Florida, correct?
That is accurate. Originally from New Jersey, which is where my filmmaking journey began when I was very young. And I used to go to the multiplexes and see films like Eddie and the Cruisers and Die Hard and the Lethal Weapon movies and just all these great, I'd sneak into movies like Beverly Hills Cop. And it kind of started out with my love of film there. Of course, my father taking me to the drive-in to go see the original Star Wars trilogy up in East Brunswick, New Jersey. And then as I got older, I just loved film. And I really wanted to work in film. But my career path took me in a different way. I did executive protection and security for about 25 years. And when I turned 40, I said, you know what, if I'm not going to do it now, I'm never going to do it. So I put an ad on Craigslist for independent filmmakers and for college filmmakers and said, let's collaborate. I said, I have a little money. You have some skill. Let's make a movie. A few hit or misses along the way. We managed to meet some great individuals like Gene Snitsky, former WWE wrestler, Ernie O'Donnell from the movie Clerks, and some other very interesting human beings. My partner, Jason Kerner, at the time, with Walking Dead Films was the name of our company. And we got together and wrote an 80s slasher movie. Gene agreed to act in it. Ernie agreed to act in it. And 100 Acres of Hell was born. And now 5 years later, it's been released by Indican Lionsgate. It's available on all the VOD platforms worldwide. Everybody can see it. And I had the opportunity of actually getting my son his first acting role in it when he was only about 10 years old.
Oh, nice.
Wow, Michael, you must be very proud of that. So how about before I do a follow-up question, just tell me a little bit about your career. I mean, you're a young person. You're acting as well, maybe something else. Tell me a little bit more about your journey.
Well, I've always loved film. In fact, my dad, my earliest memories, he would force me to watch. He'd put me in this room. He'd force me to watch movies like Star Wars, stuff like that. So I've always loved filming and stuff like that. I always watched the behind the scenes on how the film was created. I've always been intrigued by, that. And my dad getting me to a film was just fantastic.
He spends most of his time during the day doing quotes, and his most recent quote is everything from The Sopranos. Because he's at the age now, he's 15 years old. I'm like, oh, go ahead, watch The Sopranos. And being from New Jersey, I think he just took to it a little too well. We're part Italian, but you would think over here he just got off the boat from Sicily. The way he's been lately.
Yeah,
well, that's quite all right.
I can't refuse,
It's a great show. So did you finish all of the seasons already?
Oh yeah, it took me one summer.
All right. That's all right. That's the beauty of just binging all of these shows, right? That you can really catch up on a lot of the classics and just pretty much everything on that.
Yeah.
But that's great. I mean, it's a great combination, because we have someone who's younger, who's your career is just starting, and is definitely gonna bloom. I mean, I've seen the trailer of The Beast Comes at Midnight, and just all of the stuff that is going around online, and it seems like you have quite a bit of talent, and having your father as well that is doing a lot of the great producing, is even better. Just like how you said, Ed, that you put out a call on Craigslist. Talk to me a little bit about that, and just was it anything that surprised you about local filmmakers, maybe that can help someone that is sort of in the same boat and saying, you know what, my career took me on a different path. My life took me on a different path, but I want to do filmmaking. What will be on that sense, just your advice with the Craigslist and just how you got that movie made, the first movie?
What was interesting was I put it out on Craigslist because I was very naive. I went to college for television productions, but that might as well have been 100 years ago. It was back in the 90s. I went to Brookdale College, which is kind of funny because there are a lot of jokes and movies are made about Brookdale College. And my experience with some television stuff. So I put an ad on Craigslist. I got people of varying ability and all great people. And we made a very small independent horror film called Terror at 10 Acres that we actually filmed at a hotel in Absecon, New Jersey called the 10 Acres Motel. And then they wrote a newspaper article about it after we filmed it. It screened. It actually won a couple awards at some smaller film festivals. And the writer wrote how scary and dingy and dark the hotel was. So then the person in the hotel never wanted to speak to us again because it made their hotel, according to them, instead of making it something a positive experience, it detracted from it, made it a negative experience. So I've learned a lot, and I learned that, we need to make sure everything that we do paints everything in the most positive light, and stop using Craigslist, because you get a lot of people that wouldn't show, they didn't really want to take it seriously, and you're better off to invest in an IMDb account and actually start networking and reaching out to people. The Facebook groups are great, networking with people in your local community. There's a lot of options.
No, that's great that you mentioned that. I think when I first started Scranton Films, the first thing I did, once I figured out what I wanted to do, and I was like, I got to get all these filmmakers together, is I went on Craigslist, and I just put out a call. And again, like you said, you get a hit or miss, but it's been great. And it's great that you also did that, because it shows that, like, we sort of filmmakers think alike. We throw it all out in the universe, and we sort of get it back in many ways. But I'll let Desiree ask the next question. I know she had quite a few good ones.
I know you mentioned Gene Snitsky. It's mentioned that Gene Snitsky is also in The Beast at Midnight. If you want to elaborate on how it was working with him specifically, and what role does he play in The Beast Comes at Midnight?
Sure. Due to the location that we're in, we filmed The Beast Comes at Midnight in Florida. When I was living in New Jersey, we filmed in Pennsylvania and South Jersey, 100 Acres of Hell. So it was much easier to have Gene on set. But Gene was so great to work with. I mean, he's the lead. He's the ultimate hero. He's 6'7" and 300 pounds, pure muscle. It's actually kind of hard to find a creature scary enough to pit against Gene. So that in itself was a challenge, but I think we pulled it off pretty well. A lot of people seemed to like it. And I just said, I have to work with Gene again. So I pretty much called him and stalked him on the phone, sending him text message. I'm like, we're going to find a way to get you into this film. And because Michael's character of Tough is a podcaster in the film, it gave us some opportunities to use a podcast element in the film to invite some people in that maybe we necessarily didn't have the budget to get them down to Florida.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and with in Florida, since the film is set in Florida, what's it like? What's the film community like in Florida versus like what you've experienced in Pennsylvania or New Jersey?
It's a very good community. It's a great community. Very positive individuals that would like to work in film here. But the problem is it's changing now. There's starting to be more film. They're starting to come here with Lifetime movies and Hallmark movies. Yeah. Very beach-centric or fish-centric, like things that are really here, Florida type of films. A lot of Christian films. So the film community is growing here. A couple of years ago, that wasn't the case. So a lot of the people that were investing their life in the arts were filming Audi commercials, WWE commercials, because that's how they existed. That's how they were able to support themselves. So we're starting to see a transition now. We don't really have a statewide incentive program here. We have it on a per county basis if they participate at all. And we were actually able to work with the county of Hillsborough, which is where Tampa is, where we reside. And you could work with the county, and there's certain tax incentives and things that are available.
Oh, yeah, because I know with Pennsylvania specifically, I think our state, I'm pretty sure, has a statewide incentive specifically. Mm-hmm. And I know recently they just upped that, it's great news for Pennsylvania specifically.
Yeah, it's great. I'm very familiar with that in New Jersey. Matter of fact, I was one of the individuals who met with the SAG people, and we would go out and talk to the lawmakers, and we were saying we really need the incentive program back in here in New Jersey, and it passed, but now I'm here in Florida, so I didn't necessarily benefit from it, but I think the arts community did, because the second that it went through, Netflix came to town. Now Netflix is talking about building a big studio there. But just you hear about all kinds of huge companies, businesses. They filmed the Joker there. They made the big zombie movie from Zack Snyder down in Atlantic City. So it's definitely an area on the rise, New Jersey.
Yeah, and that's a great example, right? Like when we get the help, to make films, then the big companies are gonna come and also help us, help our filmmakers succeed. So that's a great thing, because all of this that we're doing is, to show them that we can make films.
Yeah.
So producers like you, that are coming from, they're in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Florida, just they know where the places are to film. How for Before we get into the film, I'm gonna ask Michael, just more of a question about how the stuff that you've been doing as an actor. So you started. What was your first film with Ed?
Yes, it was the 100 Acres of Hell film. I played a little kid. I was in like a restaurant. I went up to Gene Snitsky's character, and I was just fanboying over him pretty much. I was asking for his autograph and stuff like that.
Oh, very good. And so how was that experience? How did that? I know you said you really just studied the behind the scenes. You liked a lot of that stuff already. But how did that shape? You're starting your career just as an actor. Maybe other things that you've been in that maybe people can look out for next time they go on your IMDb.
Yeah, I mean, 100 Acres of Hell was great to start with. I mean, the very first scene I was ever in, I was talking with Gene Snitsky. We're talking about the guy that punted a baby into a live audience of WWE Universe, stuff like that. So that was great. And then fast forward a year, I was in Comic Book Men. I was there when they were doing the world record for the most amount of people that dressed up as Jay and Silent Bob. So
that's cool.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is very exciting. And what is your process as an actor? Like, do you go online and look for casting calls, or do you have an agent? Like, what is your process on that? Maybe something that you can give someone your age that may be watching, just an idea of how they can get started or keep going with their career.
Yeah, I just say practice a lot, watch YouTube videos, sign up for some classes, get confident, start applying to some roles, really, just stuff like that. Really try to perfect your craft before approaching any films and stuff like that.
Michael had a really good chance working on The Beast Comes at Midnight because he shares scenes with Eric Roberts, who's an Academy Award nominated actor.
Yeah.
And he shares scenes with Michael Pare, who's the star of all these 80s films like Streets of Fire and Eddie and the Cruisers and just so many cool films, The Philadelphia Experiment. So for Michael, that was also, I think, a great building experience for him as well.
And that's great. So we'll jump right into the movie, right? And just tell us a little bit more about, based on the trailer, maybe if someone just missed the trailer and got into the live stream right now, just what the movie's about, how Michael, I know you played the main character in the film. So just maybe we can talk about just what the film is about and then the experience, like you said, working with Eric Roberts and other stars that have, a lot of professional experience already and learning from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. It was really cool that we got to put everything together with everybody. We set out to make a film that would be I think the age-old question is, especially if you love horror movies, you say to yourself, what's the first movie? My kid's 10, 11, 12 years old, and I want to share that experience with them. And Michael was very young because I was sharing that experience with him at a young age. And we said, we have to make kind of the horror movie that's the first horror movie you can watch as a family. And we were at the Independent Showman's Museum in Gibsonton, Florida. And we saw this banner up on the wall. And the banner said, the Wolf Boy, the Devil Boy, I forget what else it said, the Devil Child. It was like a old sideshow banner. And we saw that, and Michael looked at me. He was very young. He was only about 11 years old, and he goes, I wonder what the Wolf Boy's up to now. And it was like a little light bulb like you see in the cartoon. And we immediately went home and started brainstorming characters and scenarios. And originally, we were going to do the film on like a shoestring budget. We incorporated the the whole podcasting idea, because we were going to shoot like a found footage type film on the computer with him just talking about the experience with people. And then from there, as we got investors involved, great investors down here. I can't say enough about my partners, Todd Oifer, Drew McCallum, and Vincent Sarullo. They got together, really got behind us. We put together a whole art piece with a gentleman by the name of Steve Gray, and we just started developing this thing. And it kind of steamrolled uphill into something bigger than we anticipated. And it actually became a film that a lot of people are talking about, and we're actually able to premiere it in actual theaters. So it was a really, really cool transition.
That's great.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow, that's good. If you don't mind, I'm going to probably try to share it on the screen just so we play the trailer as we go. But go ahead, Desiree. I know you had a couple questions.
While I know we mentioned that, and everyone who was here to see the trailer, which we'll show again later, this film includes Eric Roberts. He's very notable. If you want to elaborate on what it was like having Eric Roberts, maybe how you got him on board to the project and what it was like working with him.
It was very interesting getting Eric on the project. Originally, we had another cast in place, but due to COVID, there were certain individuals that we couldn't get here. And originally, and there's a poster out there on the internet that you can find, there's a Hungarian actor by the name of Robert Bronzy. And his claim to fame is that he looks exactly like the classic film star Charles Bronson, but the way that Charles Bronson looked in the 1980s. And he was supposed to be the character you see on screen now that's Eric Roberts. He was going to be the sage werewolf and vampire hunter that has to teach the young man how to survive this vicious attack going on in town that nobody seems to believe. And problem was we could not get Bronzy here. We even had a sitting U.S. senator on our behalf try and help us get Bronzy here. And because of COVID, we could not get him here. So my partner Todd and I put our heads together, and we just threw together a wish list. We were like Nicolas Cage, Arnold Schwarzenegger. We threw all these names out there, and we just started lighting up the phone on IMDb, calling agents. And it wasn't that we called a lot of people, but there were like 4 or 5 people that were like, it would be great to work with. And one of those individuals was Eric Roberts, and Todd got through. And next thing you know, we had Eric Roberts on an airplane flying here with very short notice.
Wow.
And he's great because he's a consummate professional. You know, he learned his lines, he got there, he fell into the moment, and the rest is cinema history. I think people are really going to respond to it.
Yeah.
That's great how you mentioned that. Again, like you said, you wanted to do it you didn't want to do it on a shoestring budget, but you only had certain resources. But having sort of star power, I guess that's how we call it, can bring your project just a little bit higher up on the production, right? Maybe talk to me about that as a producer that you are, for filmmakers out there that are, they're making all their films, but they're kind of looking for something that can be distributed, in different platforms, and having star power. I mean, you don't just have one, you have 3 of them, right, in your film, but it's still considered independent filmmaking. Just kind of how, what would be your advice on that, on how to get that going?
My advice would be, it never hurts to ask. If people want to think you're crazy, if you write a good enough script and people like your script, they'll be involved with you. There's different things that motivate actors and people in Hollywood. One, it's, am I going to get good exposure from this? Is it a quality project? And then people are going to respond to it well. There is the it's self-fulfillment. This is the role I'd really like to do because I really think I could nail this role. And then there are some people in Hollywood that are working strictly for a paycheck. And it's just a matter of, you can appeal to someone's sensibilities once you know what it is they're looking to work with. We, as independent filmmakers, have to work with people that believe in the craft as much as we do, because we don't have a lot of money on a per project basis. So we went out there and, there's a certain amount, it's like a new relationship. You're courting someone to be involved with you. And we were very fortunate because it wasn't our first time working with people who were known in the industry. On 100 Acres of Hell, I was fortunate to work with great WWE superstars, Gene Snitsky and Samu Enowahi, the Enowahi family, and and Ernie O'Donnell and Catherine Corcoran. We just had this who's who of kind of independent cinema working with us, which kind of gives you the confidence to go out there and try and talk to other actors and actresses. So that's pretty much where we're at.
That's great. I mean, it just to be. So, how long did it take you? Like you said, you started this before COVID, or like when COVID was happening. Like, was that a challenge as well? Like you said, trying to get people to be interested in the project, but to actually make the project itself
Yeah.
from the production.
What's interesting is every once in a while, you can only do so much with Facebook. You can go back and kind of look at, and sometimes it freezes up, and sometimes but I make a point of going all the way back to the beginning of our Facebook page. And I think we started our Facebook page in March of 2020. And when I started that Facebook page in March of 2020, it was nothing but an outline sitting on a notepad. And we went out and had a poster created, which wasn't the final art. It just kind of gave people the idea of what the flavor of the project was going to be. Then we built a good pitch deck. Then we started calling investors. We started attaching names to the project. And as you get people more excited about what you're doing, more people want to come aboard. And it's kind of like, if you have positive energy, other people with positive energy find you. We found this great artist. I mentioned him earlier by the name of Steve Gray. And Steve said, I want to jump right in with you guys, and I want to help design and create, and I want to help you get your project out there and get this information out there. So he's been a great asset. You just kind of have to find your assets and start working together. And we have this great symbiotic relationship with a lot of people, because even if you don't have a lot of money to work with, they have dreams and things that they want to do too. And it's kind of like you help your friend up the ladder, and as you get some degree of success, you're able to bring those individuals with them and let them share in that success with you.
Well, that's great advice. That is great advice. Again, because again, not just Desiree and myself. Desiree and myself collaborated on getting more filmmakers to go out there, get out of their shell, and really collaborate. That is, to be honest, one of the problems that we see that we encounter is that we all want to do something, but we're not all willing to collaborate and to build relationships with other filmmakers, because we all want to do it ourselves, right? But it's like, at the end of the day, if I can't do something, I know that Desiree can, and then we kind of help and build off of that.
It's all a team effort, and
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, the worst that someone can say is like, no, I have something going on, because everyone has different schedules, and it's just that's life.
Yeah, it's like when you look at the credits, I can't do every one of those functions in the credits. If I don't have somebody doing lights, and I don't have somebody filming it, and you don't have a good director, and you don't have somebody doing costuming and wardrobing and all these various functions, you can't do it all yourself. It's absolutely impossible. And you need to find other people. What is it? Find people on the same journey as you. And but you're very right. A lot of people don't want to collaborate with one another. There's a little bit of
hesitation.
Ego, possibly. A little bit of ego and a little bit of it's ego is really what it comes down to. I think if you can get past your ego, it's never 100% going to be the way that you want it to be. You have to bend and not break, I think, is the best way, especially as a producer, because you're given an interesting set of challenges. And if you hit a roadblock, you can't just go, that's it, film's over, see y'all later, I'm out the door. You have to be willing to adapt and overcome and figure out how you're going to take that challenge head on. We had a lead actress drop out on us 1 week before we were going to film the film. And we were very fortunate. Our director, Christopher Jackson, quite was an acting instructor. And she actually had a few really good students in her class. And we were very fortunate. And we actually, there was 2 or 3 girls that were wonderful. We were very fortunate to get Madelyn Chimento. When our lead actress fell off the project because she was starting college, Madelyn came in and she did a great job. If you watch the trailer and the film, I think people are absolutely going to fall in love with her. She's great.
That's great. So how long, just the last question on the film, how long did it take you to film the actual, like just the production part of it, not the editing, just shooting the actual film?
Okay, so we had an original production shooting schedule, about 28 days. Well, we didn't have the budget for 28 days. So we cut it down to about 21 days. Then we ran over budget. So then we had to go back to our producers and say, listen, we're making a much better movie here than we originally set out to make. And some people would think that's desperation, saying, oh, they just need more money. But in this circumstance, we were actually making a much better movie than we were originally setting out to make. All the pieces were kind of falling in place where they needed to be. And our producers were very gracious. We didn't go that drastically over, but we did go over. They reinvested in us and saw the potential of what it is we were doing. And we were able to complete the film, and we got back up to about 28, 30 days of shooting.
Oh, wow. And how long is the film itself?
I'm sorry. Originally it was 92 minutes, but I think it's been trimmed down to 85.
85. Oh, great. So it is a feature. I thought it was a short film. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
It's a feature.
I'm even more excited.
One of the things that people say as they watch it, too, is we went out of our way. We were very conscious of, we didn't want, this is where we are. We can only afford to have this in the frame, and it's going to be 25 minutes of dialogue right here. Some films are great like that. We said we have the whole state of Florida as our oyster, and especially here in the Tampa area. We have this classic town of Gibsonton. We have Plant City. We have Tampa itself. We have these lush tropical environments. So when the script was written, it was written with that in mind. And I have to say that Christopher Jackson, our director, and his director of photography, Darren, did a tremendous job. We went out endlessly finding the perfect locations. And the film itself looks beautiful. That 85 minutes runs by like that because you're just going from one beautiful location to the next. We didn't settle for a location. We looked for the right location.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's great. And that's great. And if you can, you can think that a movie is short, but it was actually a feature when you're watching. That's great editing. I'm an editor by heart. And if you can follow that and go for a whole feature thinking that is, oh my goodness, it's over already, then and that's what I see here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the dates, right? Let's talk a little bit about just when this is playing here in Pennsylvania. We have people in New York, New Jersey, and in California that watch our show. So let's talk about, this is for Scranton, Pennsylvania only for now, but I think there's a few other dates. You may be in New York tomorrow, right?
Yes, we're going to be in New York Friday night at the Festival of Cinema. Myself, Michael, one of our lead actresses, Samantha O'Donnell, and producer Robert Savakinus will be present for that screening in New York. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we drive back into Pennsylvania, where we'll be at the Circle Drive-In to premiere theatrically on the biggest screen in Napa. Do you say it Napa? Napa. The biggest screen in Napa. And I have to say that the people at the Circle Drive-In are absolute aces. Dave and the doctor and everybody up there with the because you're also having a film there next week. Just great folks there, great people to work with, and we really can't wait to be up on that beautiful screen. Our trailer's been playing there for the last couple months, and I'm getting messages all the time about how excited people are to see the film.
Yes, and I think it's going to be a great night. Again, so the doors will open, I think at 7, right?
Open at 7 where people can start coming in, get tickets, get snacks.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is, too, our movie is going to be playing with the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we want to engage people that are into the cosplay and the costumes and the Rocky Horror, because I think although our movie may be a little more family-friendly, it's a classic monster movie. It's a shock and awe creature running around the woods and around a town, and in the classic flavor, a werewolf. I love the classic monsters. I love the Wolfman. I love Dracula. I love the creature from the Black Lagoon. So we try to emulate this in everything we were doing when we were shooting. So I'm really hoping people enjoy it.
So that brings it into so who do you think should go see the film as far as the age gap? Like what would you recommend will be for this film?
I would recommend that you could bring your young kids to it. I would say any kid that's too young to sit through a movie may not like it, only because they're too young to sit through a movie. But any kid that can focus and concentrate on a good monster story, family friendly, parents, I think parents will enjoy it because it harkens back to the Monster Squad, the Goonies. we were going for that kind of fun, adventurous, scary movie. So I think it's going to appeal to all ages. I think people that like horror movies. I think people who don't like horror movies are going to enjoy it. People that like sideshows and monsters and just kind of a fun adventure story, I think are really gonna dig it.
Great. So that was August 13th and the 14th at 8. But we really want you to be there for the 13th. And if you can't really make it, then the 14th is perfect as well.
Yes.
But the 13th, you will be there, both of you, right? Meet and greet.
On the 13th, myself, Michael, Bob Savakinus, our other executive producer, will be there, who's from Pennsylvania, who I would love to talk about all the stuff that you guys are working on with Scranton's championship season. I love Bob's documentaries, and your work, I think, is just wonderful. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have put together and then actually screening with the classic film itself. So Bob's going to be out there on Saturday, and Gene Snitsky, WWE superstar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, who was in 100 Acres of Hell. He's coming out there. It's going to be kind of a reunion. Him and Michael haven't been together in a few years since they worked together on the film. And trying to think, some other friends of ours that might have been in some classic horror films have reached out and said, hey, listen, if I can make it, I'm going to come out. So, of course, I said, well, if you're coming out, you have to let me know because I want to announce it.
Yes.
But we're only announcing the people that have actually strictly confirmed with us at this time. So we're hoping by Saturday, as we go, we'll have some more announcements.
No, and that's very cool. That's the cool thing about it is that, like you said, you're building relationships, so that you're getting the word out there. And, these people will say, I'm coming here for this and I'm coming here for that. So, again, it will be a great night, just for you guys, filmmakers out there, that you want to meet truly independent filmmakers that are doing great things, really all over, the East Coast. It's a great thing to do on a Saturday night. What I'm also going to put here is I'm going to put your website because I know that for the ones that are not in Scranton, for the ones that are in New York that are listening, make sure, if you haven't gone to this film festival, which one was it? I'm sorry.
It is the Festival of Cinema, New York City.
Okay.
It takes place in Queens, New York. It's actually going on right now. In fact, our friends at Turbo Cola are there. They're up for Best Ensemble Cast tonight. That's actually a film that Showtown American Pictures is representing theatrically, because that's one of the things we're also looking to do at Showtown. We're looking to get independent filmmakers an opportunity with our connections with different outlets as far as drive-ins and independent theaters. We're trying to help other independent filmmakers kind of get the same experience of getting their film on the big screen. So we definitely want to wish everybody at Turbo Cola some success tonight. As a matter of fact, I think they're actually showing right now in Queens, New York. So they'll probably see this later.
Oh, perfect. So we definitely have some friends in that area. If you guys can make it and support local filmmakers, well, not local filmmakers, filmmakers itself, independent filmmakers.
Well, I was in the city, so it's right across the river. So, like, I'm kind of local to that area too.
Well, there you go. And okay, perfect. So what we'll do is let me see if we have any questions online. Sometimes people like to ask questions. If not, I'm gonna ask. I think you already answered, but I'm gonna ask one question that I ask everyone of our guests. But let me see.
I want to talk about Pennsylvania film too, briefly, because that's just a great thing.
Yes. So we have Desiree's mom is always on our live streams because she's our biggest supporter.
Question.
Someone said, "Oh, John Conrad. I used to work with him at the local college." Thank you, John. Happy birthday!
I saw him there. What was the journey of getting Eric Roberts on board? The journey was, like we kind of spoke about earlier, just being persistent and calling and getting the script in front of him and his manager to kind of jump aboard and do it. And we're very excited to make that happen. And a great guy. But one funny thing was, before we got him there on set, we weren't really sure if it was Eric Roberts and Eric Roberts Management that we were talking to. So we're actually really ready for like a surprise to happen at the last minute. And maybe somebody would show up pretending to be Eric Roberts, or because it kind of just fell together for us too easily. We put the work in, But there was something about it. I remember, we were concerned, but Eric Roberts hopped off the plane. Todd brought him to set, and we did our thing. So it was really, really cool.
That is exciting. That must have been very interesting. Just that feeling, right? Just
Yeah.
like, did I actually do this?
Yeah.
Is this working? It's like, is everything all right?
Yeah. I mean, all of a sudden, an Academy Award and Golden Globe nominated actor is on our set. That gives you a lot of validity really quickly. So it
does.
Amazing.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think this film, I think it's going to be great. Let me see. Joyce Davis says, "Hey, Ed and Michael."
Oh, hello. That would be my beautiful wife, Joyce Davis.
Oh, of course. All right. Biggest supporters. I'm telling you, that's the best. And then that is a great combination. This might have come in when we were talking about something specific. I'm not sure what it was, but we just put this out here.
I want to say hi to Nikki Flores, filmmaker. I've had a little bit of correspondence with Nikki. Nikki does special effects and filmmaking, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity of us working together.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. Good shout out.
And
Perfect.
I saw someone else wished you a happy birthday on there, so I'd like to thank the individual for reaching
There's
out
my ego, right?
Yeah,
There's
John. Thanks, John.
Yes. John helped me. He is he's an instructor professor at the college, but we did a little bit for a little promo back then.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
That's nice.
But yes, this is really good. Again, filmmakers out there, if you want to connect with Ed and Michael, the best thing to do is just come to the drive-in on August 13th, which is only a few days, where you can meet them, you can ask them questions, you can take some pictures, and you can also enjoy a nice, beautiful night watching a great film.
Thank you. And we're very excited to meet everyone. I think the collaboration part is the most important thing. I've met a lot of people going to film festivals. I've met a lot of people going to these filmmaker meetups and groups. And I think, that's where you find the people that are on the same journey as you. So if you have any questions about film, you want to talk about werewolves, you just want to come hang out for the night, come hang out with me, Michael, and Snitsky and all the guys. And we're going to watch some movies, and we're going to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. And it's a Saturday night in Pennsylvania. Let's have some fun.
And it's not supposed to be hot. It's supposed to be like 78 or something.
That's good. That's good, because I do not agree with the heat. Being down here in Florida, there are two seasons here. There's summer, and then there's summer. We're in summer right now.
Really, really summer, right? Oh, very cool. Well, so then we don't want to keep you here too long, but the last question, which I think you kind of answered it, but we're just gonna ask it anyway for each of you, is just what advice would you give someone who's just starting out in the filmmaking industry, or someone who may be thinking of starting to be a filmmaker? Maybe something that you would have told yourself, your younger self, that could have helped you along the way, just as your creative journey.
I would have said to them, do it when you're young. Don't do it when you get older. Me getting involved in the film business at an older age, I think it's going to work out well for Michael. Well, actually, Michael has a very interesting plan. He's an honor student, and he's all super smart. I don't know where it came from. He got my wife's looks and brains, so that's a good thing. He has it all planned out. He's going to be an entertainment attorney. He's going to, he already has his whole life planned out. But he's being exposed to all this film stuff now, which I had an opportunity to do when I was a kid. So any opportunity that you can get, don't wait. Don't say, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. You can't sit there and go, I'm going to make this film. If I can just save up $10,000, I'm going to make this film. No, go out there, start getting together with the people that you work with and the people that you know, and make the film now. You might not make the film you want to make, but it could be the one that catapults you to the film that you want to make. And don't let people, there are so many people out there that want to kind of keep you down. There are so many people on there. You put your trailer up on YouTube, and people who've never done anything will be the first ones to say, oh, it looks like it was made by a fifth grader. It's the worst thing I ever saw. You cannot be dissuaded by that. You need to keep moving forward, always forward. have confidence in yourself, and keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward, always forward. And how about you, Michael?
Just the best advice I can give is just hard work. I mean, that's about it. Just hard work. Just hard work. Yeah,
yes, hard work. And I always tell people, if you say you're gonna do it, right? Hard work, follow through is one of the most important things. So there you have it, guys. Hard work, and for those who are a little bit older, like just starting out, don't wait. For those who are young, don't wait till you have the best looking camera, because there's always going to be a better camera out there.
Yeah, and embrace the different formats that you can put films on. Not every film needs to be on an IMAX screen. Not every film needs to be. There is a platform for everybody. There's a platform for films that are just shot on phones. And you just need to find and identify your audience, who's going to be your fan base. And, if you stay true to yourself and make the films you want to make, those individuals are going to find you. But they're never going to find you if your script just sits on a table somewhere on your desk in the middle of the night. You need to turn it into something. Consider other forms. You start doing audio plays. Start identifying who your audience is going to be.
That is great advice. Perfect. Yeah. So with that advice, I'll let Desiree wrap it up, and then I'll finish it up with a couple things. And I think we said all of our updates, things that are coming up, right?
Yeah, we did in the beginning, but yeah, it's like, thanks everyone so much for joining us tonight for Scranton Talks with these awesome filmmakers, Ed and Michael. Just letting everyone know again that The Beast Comes at Midnight will be premiering this weekend on Saturday, August 13th and 14th at the Circle Drive-In in Dixon City, which will be coinciding with the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tickets are available at thecircledrivein.com, so go on there and get your tickets. You can learn more about the film on their website, thebeastcomesatmidnight.com, and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep, and more dates being announced soon, but we don't want to announce any more dates because we think that the individuals and the organizations that are so great to screen us now, we want to do everything we can to get people to come out. So please support the great Circle Drive-In Theater. Yeah. Please support us, support other independent filmmakers. We do our part. We go to independent screenings all the time. We're out there shaking hands and talking with people. Let's all get together. There's a million Mavericks out there. There's a million Titanics. We need to all support one another.
Yes. Well said. Well said. If you can't do it at home, guys, you have to do it at home. You go to the Circle Drive-In, and I mean, it's going to be an amazing weekend. So, other than that, I mean, I think we touched up on all the updates. Just make sure to follow our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're going to be reposting all this stuff throughout all of our social media. That way you'll have a chance to watch it again. And for those who couldn't watch it live, you'll be able to watch this pretty much anytime. And then we also put it on a podcast, right, Desiree? What do we have it on now?
Yes, we put all the audio of our interviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so you can listen in whenever. I like listening to podcasts on my lunch. So,
and if I could say one more thing, I just want to make sure that I really thank the Circle Drive-In, yourselves, for having us on this evening.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you, producer Robert Savakinus, who I cannot wait to work with in Pennsylvania. A newspaper article came out the other day, and I was asked a few questions about working with Bob. And I said, I can't wait, because Bob has more passion about film than I've ever seen. He knows the locations, the people, everything that we could put together to make great films in Pennsylvania. And that's why my partners and I are very engaged to work in that region. Not just with Bob, but a couple other Pennsylvania filmmakers. We want to bring everybody together and bring some great projects up to that area. So please come out and meet with us, talk with us. We want to talk film. We want to talk.
Perfect. Those are great news, and well said about Bob. I second that. I mean, definitely, he knows what he's doing, and what better thing to do than collaborate. So thank you for that. On that note, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave everyone with the trailer. That way they can see it one more time, and then in graphic, and stick around, and Michael, don't leave us. And that way we can say our proper goodbyes.
Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Everybody.
Beast! I'm the last of the Andros bloodline! Come and claim your prize! Not today, Beast.
That kid's a weirdo.
Look out! What are you doing on the road, Death Note? You trying to get hit? Part of some weird ritual, huh, Dr. Strange?
So, you're the Crimson Kid. I'm Mary.
Yeah, I know.
Here. I didn't realize there was so much history in Giptown.
Have you ever crossed the tracks into Giptown?
No, but I've heard there's a bunch of cool stuff over there.
This is very real, tough.
The Wolf Boy? I need some information.
Chasing the stars?
A werewolf.
That's what your new story is on?
The attacks are moving from outside of Fishhawk and into Giptown.
He's becoming stronger.
People are here being eaten alive, Mary.
You're on the tooth fairy short of me a quarter.
The beast is tracking something. I thought it was me.
I can sense the beast is coming. There is death in the air this
I came out here to save Tough.
It's not tough. The beast is chasing, Mary.
Will you just tell me that was your stomach, Mutt?
Not even on my best day. I know you guys think I'm strange, and maybe I am, but maybe it takes someone strange to fight something strange.
I'm with you.
Hey, dog breath! Let's finish this.